So, sweet. We are going live. All right. So by the time everyone kind of sees this, we will be in like Flynn on the NAIAFBALL live show for the quarterfinals. So, welcome, guys. What a great weekend of football.
Yeah, absolutely. Playoff time, which would usually be Thanksgiving time in NAIA, so we're doing it around here in the spring, and exciting games. Mostly what we expected to happen.
Mostly.
I think just on the top of my head, I think I got 6 out of 8 games right.
Yeah, I think we picked mostly the same.
Yeah.
There. So let's do a little bit of thanking of our sponsors here. Thank you to Temple Sporting Goods, powered by AdCraft. If you want some great gear for your team, AdCraft is the way to go. They set me up with this shirt that I'm wearing tonight. They did. It's a beautiful shirt. It's got our logo on the back. It's just a great product. Give them a call. Business or sports team, they do it all. John, let's take a look at the week that was here, and we'll start with Morningside with a 55-0 win over Carroll.
Impressive around the board. We had no doubt that Morningside was going to win this game. I think just the shock is that it was just total domination. I mean, we probably thought Morningside was going to win comfortably, no doubt. But I think just blanking the Frontier Conference champion, what a great start. And also congratulations to Anthony Sims of Morningside, his first 100-yard rushing game of the season.
Yeah, so we had questions coming in about the Morningside defense and how they would handle a physical Carroll rushing attack. They responded. Burgess only had 81 yards at the running back position. Devin Bridgewater for Carroll only had 131 yards. Just a really well played game from Morningside, all told.
Yeah, and just more impressive is Morningside's defense forced 5 turnovers.
That is.
I mean, that's how you win 55-0.
That's how you do it right there. So, Grandview defeats Dort. Just a really efficient game for Grandview.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt. Grandview's been my number one team in the poll all year long. What's impressive is, Dort fans and our NAI football account have really, we just posted facts up there about Dort being a top 5 offense, and that, they've been running up on some GPAC teams, and we're impressive against Morningside, and we're impressive against Northwestern. But that Grandview front 7, I think Dort's leading rusher had 51 yards or something like that.
Yeah,
and you're not going to get much if you can't run the ball in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially if you're a team like Dort that really does key off of that. That's why Levi Jungling is there as the wide receiver, as kind of our skill position play with 94 yards of receiving. The running game was just not there. Devon Presley for Grandview was with 144 yards and a touchdown. Johnny Sullivan got himself a rushing touchdown as well as 2 through the air. Maybe the yardage stats don't look crazy.
No, not at all. But, they're very efficient and got done what they needed to get done on offense.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you have an elite defense like that, it takes a lot of pressure off that offense.
It really does. Lindsey Wilson takes care of Bethel, 42-10. You want to talk about performances that don't look particularly crazy on the stat line is Cam Duke's 11 of 18 for 144 yards.
Right, and we knew that, Lindsey Wilson was going to get limited possessions. A really fast game to start off with Bethel running their triple option. But, that defensive line for Lindsey Wilson, that 3-3 stack, 3-4, played assignment football against Bethel. And, Corey, I'll tell you, one of the hardest things for an option team is when you have head-up 4s and 5 techniques. And that in position, it just makes – you get a little bit longer read, but, when those backers are coming up covering that B gap, it kind of makes kind of makes the read a tough thing.
It's a little bit different look. Great job to Lindsey Wilson. You know, if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times. You know, that first touchdown for them was a quarterback sweep. You know, like I said, if we've said it once, we've said it 1,000 times. You know, Cam Dukes is really, if Chris Oliver could, like Madden, create a quarterback, it'd probably be a lot like Cam Dukes.
That's right, with all the capabilities allowed to. And congratulations for the Threshers, you know, KCAC champions. Really stepped down the scene this year, eager to see if that momentum keeps going.
And down south, we had a game that was over about as quickly as it began.
Yeah, the Sooner Athletic Conference. It seems like no matter what team they put in, they take a quick exit. Arizona Christian getting their turn this year as the champions over there. Great season. Really excited football over there. And they got a lot of football in this year. But Kaiser was too much. Eli Matthews putting up 240 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. They had their way on the offensive side of the ball, Kaiser did.
Absolutely. Jaden Meisinger with 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. It just seemed like every time you turned around, it was either like a punt block or a long kickoff. Special teams really had their way here for Kaiser, and they were really, I keep using the word efficient, but they were. It seemed like every time I wrote the tweet that they scored, they'd score again.
Right.
So, congratulations to Kaiser. We'll get what you get as your reward this week. Over in Iowa, Northwestern, the folks that think that we don't like them.
One of 2 teams that kind of get the monkey off their back. These first-round exit losses for Northwestern have been just, kind of lingering over the program here. And they go out and they show they are the better team this time around and actually take care of business. And how about that Northwestern secondary? 4 interceptions, man.
Yeah, Bodecker was not great on the day. And to be fair, it's, he's taking over that Dickinson State program this year. So that's a real big stage for that.
And I'm going to be honest, if I had a player of the year vote, Northwestern's quarterback Tyson Coyne was going to get it.
I mean, good Lord, the man went for 263 yards and through the air and 100 through the ground.
He does everything.
The only reason that he's not player of the week is because we had an absolute barn burner.
Right, and we'll talk about that. We're getting to it.
We are getting to it. We want to talk about a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, this is the second team that got their monkey off the back. Reinhardt has struggled against Mid-State Football Association teams, whether it be Concordia last year, St. Francis in the national championship game, Marion. What a great football win, especially because Marion outgained them in the box score. But, like we said, you cannot turn over the ball in playoff football and expect to win.
So Marion's quarterback got pulled mid-game, and that's by the time that they pulled him,
right,
the game was mostly over. Credit to Zach Bundalo there. He came in and he lit it up. 285 yards, passing with 3 touchdowns, but the game was too far gone. Reinhardt
right after Frankie Young threw that 3rd interception, like you said, he got pulled. The game was over, and Reinhardt is built kind of like Marion's able to milk that clock, and Reinhardt hung on to win.
So I do want to point out John Perry,
right,
for Reinhardt. We don't we love ourselves a big man touchdown.
Absolutely.
And to see a pick 6, that was
from the defensive end position.
That was a beautiful spot drop coverage. Great catch, great return. Do want to mention Ben Stevens went for $122 for Marion at the wide receiver position. Johnny William also caught a touchdown on 144 yards. So that might be something to keep our eye on this week for the Reinhardt defense. Once Bundalo came in, they looked a little shaky on their pass D. And then our barn burner, 59-54. You want to talk about a game that scored every time you turned around. This was it.
Yeah, all of it just made a mistake late in that game, and they had to play catch up late. I think all of its last touchdown was inside a minute, and they didn't get the onside kick. What's crazy is both teams made a lot of mistakes. All of it just made the late mistake.
Yeah, Baker had those 4 interceptions in the first half.
8 interceptions combined in the game.
Good Lord, that is. And every interception by a different player, too. It's
right.
not like
and what's crazy is just the yards we saw get piled up.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, over 400 yards.
Imagine if there wasn't 8 interceptions. This could have been 100 to 100.
Yeah. It's probably why it was 59-54. We had teams trading it. J.D. Woods putting the team on his back.
Right, and Baker's known for that, being able to run the ball. And, Baker's not too far removed from being a national championship program. And they did it by running the ball.
Yep, and then our last game, the only road team to pull a victory is Concordia. Look, Peter Morrison surprised me with 3 first-half touchdown tosses.
This was the one game I know for sure I was wrong on. It was this one and all of it.
Yep.
Congratulations Concordia for being the higher seed and just because of COVID circumstances having to go down to Kentucky to play this game. You're going to have to be road warriors the whole playoffs. Yep. But Concordia's offense woke up. They didn't put the points on the board we're waiting to see them put. But when you got a defense that's holding people single digits, what's the point?
Yeah, Concordia's defense really showed that it wasn't just their schedule that was the factor on that D. That's going to be a hard game for their next opponent. So let's talk about First Down Playbook play of the week. First Down Playbook, over 35,000 plays in a mobile format. Teach your guys, teach your team, teach your 7-on-7.
Yeah, any level this is good at.
So let's take a look at the play this week. We are going with a play from Baker and Olivet. And this is a throwback screen. It's a beautifully executed play. A couple of things I want to point out. Brennan at that wide receiver spot, taking the free safety away from the play.
Right.
Really opened it up.
How about that left tackle being able to get out there and
Cal Harris
seal the edge off on that corner? Just a favorable matchup. And then you see the defenders just biting on that boot.
Yeah, great job by J.D. Woods. Watch number 1 out of the backfield on that play action.
Right.
He carries that corner with him, and by the time that the Olivet corner realizes that Woods isn't getting the ball,
that tackle's coming.
That tackle's right there.
Right.
Great block by Cal Harris. Great run by Tywan Lewis. Great job to sell the play by Aganagua. Let's listen to the call and watch the play.
Aguinaga under center. Play action again, rolls right. This time has time. Looking downfield for the throwback. He's able to hit Tywan Lewis. Lewis getting blocking downfield from Cal Harris. And strolling into the end zone is Tywan Lewis. What a block downfield by the all-conference left tackle, Cal Harris.
Credit to Baker Athletics and Derek Johnson on the call there. Just a great play. I'm just going to roll back to that real quick just so we can see it one more time. That was perfectly executed. If you don't get that free safety pulling off there, biting on 83.
And that's why if you're not getting the ball, you still run your route hard.
Absolutely. Credit to Baker for making it happen. That was a beautiful, beautiful play design, and we love beautiful play design.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about 417. John, you want to read this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So 417, they're great for any custom helmet designs. If you got fantasy football, that defunct college team. We got a team a couple hours down the road in Jacksonville University. They're defunct. And, it's kind of cool to have that memorability to still customize, high school teams, small college teams, anything you can name it. 417's got it. Hit him up. He does great work. But let's get to the players of the week. I know we hit about Baker's running back, J.D. Woods. 258 yards for 5 touchdowns. We talked about Baker liking to run the ball, and they like J.D. Woods behind that offensive line. I definitely see him getting the load the whole playoffs as long as they're in it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're gonna stop Baker, you got to stop J.D. Woods.
Right, and I'll let you get the defensive guy.
Yep, Nathan Kabongo for Dort. It's not often that we get a guy that
From the
lost
losing team.
from the losing team. Kabongo kept Dort in it. Grandview was
Right.
not sharp early through a couple of picks there. They were stopping Dort, but that Dort defense was keeping their offense in it for a while. So let's take a look at some picks.
Absolutely.
Morningside gets Baker coming to Sioux City.
I don't see Morningside losing till the championship game or the semifinal if they meet Grandview. I don't think this Baker team matches up really well with Morningside, especially their defense. I think their offense is good enough to go toe for toe as long as that running game can keep going. The question I have is Morningside. We didn't get to see R.J. Ponder last week.
Yeah, Ponder was out. I don't know if that was injury or whether that was some other reason.
Right. I'm looking forward to that. But Sims did a great job carrying the load for them last week.
Absolutely.
So they're basically they could be running back by committee if they want to, even though we love seeing AP play. Juergensmeyer. I'd like to see. I think he's going to have that huge breakout game. He always puts up great stats. But when they got late in playoff time last year, or 2019, he lit up the stats. So I'm looking forward to that, but I have Morningside in this game.
Yeah, Carroll actually did a good job of keeping Juergensmeyer from getting loose. He did have a team-high 6 catches, but only 63 yards on those catches.
Right.
So a good job by Carroll of
kept
keeping
him out of the end zone. And, Dolchek only threw 1 touchdown that game against Carroll, right?
Yeah, I mean, to Austin Johnson.
Right, and and most of that was Morningside having their way on the ground game. But, I'm eager to see Morningside play that complete offensive game if they're forced to. I just don't know if Baker's defense is able to force them to do that, even though they are the number 2 defense
They are
in the
the
nation.
number 2 defense. You got to pick your poison here.
Right.
I'm taking Morningside until proven otherwise.
Yeah, Morningside for me.
Grandview, Northwestern.
What a heck of a second round game.
Oh,
All
man.
Iowa right here. Short distance for Northwestern coming over. I got Grandview. I think they're going to keep going until they meet Morningside again. But the X factor is Tyson Koima. Can he do everything against Grandview? What Northwestern needs to focus on is they're going to have to take their shots to be efficient on offense, I think, against that Grandview defense. But can Northwestern's defense really hold, a Grandview offense that has shown weakness? Been very efficient, but have shown weakness. Can Northwestern play their best game and take advantage of when Grandview's just a little sloppy?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're Grandview, you know how you've got to defend this. You've got to keep Koima from running the ball, and you've got to make sure that Shane Solberg.
This is my game of the week.
I'll take that.
Playoffs.
I'll take
this
that.
is my game of the week.
But
I have
that checks
Grandview.
out.
I have Grandview winning.
You have Grandview on that one. Yeah, I'm taking Grandview as well. They're still my number 1 team. Just so efficient on offense. Runs the ball. Sullivan does a great job when he has to run on the ground and is efficient through the air. I think that Grandview shuts down Shane Solberg and keeps Tyson from really getting loose.
Yeah, I think they keep him within the pocket and the design runs. They're keying on him. I think Tyson's going to have to beat him with their arm.
Yes, and I think it's going to have to be to someone other than
Solberg. I agree.
Lindsey Wilson. You trade one run-heavy team for another.
I picked Concordia to lose last week to a Mid-South team and was wrong. So I'm going to do the same thing and pick them to lose again. All right, so
You're a tease, John Cooper.
I got Lindsey Wilson winning this game. I just don't think Concordia's offense is good enough to be make a big run in these playoffs. I just don't believe in Concordia's offense. And, they're going to face that Georgetown offense they faced last week that their defense had their way with. That's not the same one coming this week.
No.
You basically got Kentucky Junior last week, and then you got, the
The elephant in the room.
The elephant, yeah. So we're going to see.
You know,
the salty spittoon. There you go.
The salty spittoon. How tough are you?
Yeah.
If Lindsey Wilson is going to win this game,
all right,
they're going to have to play all 4 quarters.
And this would be Lindsey's second consecutive trip to the semis if they make it. I believe this would be Concordia's first ever trip to the semis if they make it, with how young their program is.
That's a decent possibility.
I believe that's the case.
Yeah. Lindsey Wilson is going to have to play well from the jump. I know.
Yeah, they can't start off sloppy like they did in the regular season.
Or even
last week.
Even last week, Bethel very much had their way for the first couple of quarters. It was a little nervy for the Blue Raider fans.
Right.
So we'll have to see.
I can tell you this: Peter Morrison is going to have to throw for at least 150 yards.
Oh, no doubt. He's going to have to put up a performance equal to or greater than he did last week, without a doubt. I am still taking Lindsey. I think that as the competition level ratchets up, I think they rise to the occasion. And then, if you hadn't called that your game of the week, I'd be going with Kaiser Reinhardt. That is going to be, oh my gosh, what a great matchup.
I love Reinhardt. They are built for a playoff run with how physical they are, but they're not as well-rounded as Kaiser.
Kaiser, you say Seahawk fast.
Right.
And you can say you're fast till you're blue in the face. But if you don't come out and start hot and start fast, that's just a saying. Kaiser is not that way. They're gonna punch you in the mouth from the kickoff.
And they're going to play at their pace. The question is, Billy Hall, who's been very great at keeping the ball safe. He hasn't done any stupid plays. Can he stay efficient? Can Reinhardt play their physical game and wear down Kaiser? Can Reinhardt's defense slow down Kaiser a little bit where they get out of rhythm? If that's the case, Reinhardt wins. But I don't see that happening. I have Kaiser winning.
Last week we talked about this with Reinhardt and Marion, both run-heavy teams. Kaiser, for the fact that Eli Matthews is a good quarterback, is still a run-heavy team.
Right.
You saw the stats from Meisinger earlier. You've got Antoine Sims. You've got...
Which Kaiser's really great at just getting the ball out fast into the perimeter. So we'll see if that works out for them.
And I really think it will. I'm taking Kaiser in this matchup. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Reinhardt has something to prove, obviously.
Right.
And, for Kaiser, can you continue that string where you can prove that you belong here?
Yeah, once you get to the second round of the NAIA playoffs, there's very few blowouts at this point. There's best on best now.
And that makes it really fun. So I'm watching comments over here. If y'all have questions, drop them in the comments there. We're watching as things go. We're just tickled pink to be able to do this.
It's kind of sad. The shows get shorter and shorter, but it gets more important and more important.
They really do. They do get shorter and shorter. Next week when we only have 2 games to do,
all right,
we'll probably go in depth and do a little bit more breakdown on the teams.
And those that are still with us, the first person that DMs the NAIAFBALL account with your mailing address, I will send the NAIAFBALL sticker your way tomorrow. Sweet. So
that is fantastic. Thanks guys for coming on Patreon. I know those that has increased a little bit in the last week or two there. So thank you guys for that. That pays for me to eat some food while I'm in Grambling, and also helps to support the show with what we're able to do to cover NAIA football, helps our travel, and helps us to keep increasing what the show looks like. The screen back here is brought to you by viewers like you. I'm going to sound like PBS here. the more folks who support the show, the better it's going to look.
I agree with that. Absolutely agree. And, we're the only two covering this. So, buy in a little bit, have some fun with us. We are very interactive, and we are looking forward to continue to do more.
Absolutely. So for John Cooper, I'm Corey Thorpe.